Hello, I'm the Fanfic Critic. I read it, you listen. Episode 155. Can't believe it's been 100 episodes. Never mind. Today's fanfic is called War of Wills by Siwi, I don't know if I'm saying, or maybe it's Christy Q or something like that. I'm probably pronouncing it wrong and I do apologize. This is a Bleach fanfic. It's rated T, it's in English, it's romance, hurt comfort, it's T Hitsugaya and Matsumoto R, has 11 reviews. It's a 6-chapter story, but the word count's only like 3,000, so it won't be too long. So let's not waste any time and let's read this fanfic. It had only been a small argument. He did not even understand how it had turned into a fully fledged shouting match. Hitsugaya sat at his desk, brow furrowed and head in his hands. He just didn't know what to do. So, you're afraid that I'll suddenly dump you because of your age? Yes. How could you even start believing those rumors? I thought you trusted me. I thought you knew me. You can't even begin to understand how I feel. Fine. I'm filing transfer papers tomorrow. And just where are you planning to go? Somewhere where I am trusted and respected for my loyalty. The door slammed shut behind Matsumoto's retreating figure, leaving Hitsugaya to stare with horrid eyes at the mess he had just made. Matsumoto! The door opened, admitting a steely-eyed Matsumoto. Rengiku. Hitsugaya began, his heart leaping. Maybe she changed her mind about transferring after all. Rengiku, I didn't mean to. She walked over without a word, placed a piece of paper firmly on his desk, turned and walked back out. At the door she stopped. I pity your next Fuku Taicho. I don't know. I'm probably mangling these. I'm very sorry. She said, hurling her words at him as a final insult before she closed the door and swept away. And swept away? So what is she, a broom? Okay, sorry. My next Fuku Taicho, Hitsugaya whispered in shock. Then his heart stopped in realization. He picked up the sheet of paper and felt his heart plummet. Approval of transfer for Matsumoto Rangiku from Fuku Taichu of 10th Division to 3rd seat of 8th Division. Signed, Yamato Genryusei Shingai Kuni, Captain Commander. I'm so sorry if I'm mangling these names. Please don't kill me. I apologize. I know I should be pronouncing it right. Hello, I'm the Fanfic Critic, but I'm not the expert at the Japanese language, unfortunately. I'm more of an expert at the English language, and even then I have some problems, so please forgive me, all anime fans, all Japanese fans, if I am severely mangling it. I do apologize. Let's move on to chapter 2. A month later, Tatsufusa Fuku Taicho came Hitsugaya's tired voice. He was sitting at his desk as he sorted out paperwork. His new Fuku Taicho was sniggering with some of his squad members outside his workroom doors. He missed Matsumoto so much it hurt to see him sit in her chair. She'd always show him respect despite his age and never backstabbed him or allowed any of his squad members to backstab him like they were doing now. It was only after her departure that he'd found out that his division really thought of him as the immature little boy wearing a hiro too big for him. It was only after his departure that he'd found out that the only reason why they'd ever obeyed him was out of respect of Matsumoto, who had told them to. It was only after her departure that he found out how much he needed her. Hi, Taicho, came Tatsufusa's voice in half-hidden sneer. Will you please? His sentence was cut off when a lower seat came charging in. Taicho, I think you mean an Adjucha has appeared in North Rokonge. Oh my god, I'm so sorry. and is ravishing the town. Orders have been issued for immediate assistance. Let's go, he said. They flashed off. I know some minor grammatical things there, but whatever. Screams of terror filled his ears as villagers scattered in fear. Heh, big deal, said his vice captain. Help with the evacuation. Taicho, don't worry about this guy. I'll have him down in a sec. It was only then that he found out how much he was looking down upon, how much he yearned for the respect of the person supposedly standing beside him, how much Matsumoto had yearned for his respect and yet respected and obeyed him with everything she had. Back then she would have gone and immediately helped with the evacuation. She knew his style and never questioned his ability or his orders. Wait, don't be rash, he cried, too late. The Junka slashed Tatsufusa in half. Sautenai Zais Hyorin Maru, he cried. The world froze. Later, at his deck, he sighed. I think you mean to say desk. His heart yearned for Matsumoto. He had seen her and tried to talk to her in the last month, but she was decidedly ignoring him. Every time he saw her giggling and smiling at her best friend in Lieutenant Nanio Icy or Kyoraku Taichio, he felt empty inside. He wished that it was him she was smiling at as his office she was lighting up. That it as his office? I don't get it. She had always been that cheerful even when he scolded her. He sighed sadly. Your lieutenant disobeyed your orders and got himself killed. Is that right? Yes. Hitsugaya Taicho. You need to earn your subordinates' trust. I understand the difficulties regarding your age. However, you cannot expect every one of your subordinates to be as open as Matsumoto Fuku Taicho was. Icy hands closed over his heart at her mention. You will have a new lieutenant assigned to your division by the end of this week. Dismissed. Hi. So, Taicho. He thought about that morning's meeting with the captain commander and sighed. His hand reached for his regular cup of tea and closing on air. Of course, how stupid of him. Only Matsumoto would make him tea, and only Matsumoto would make it the way he liked it, right? So no Matsumoto, no tea. Suddenly, the door burst open and Kyoraku swept in. Hitsugaya Taicho. Shanu Taicho. To what do I owe the pleasure of this meeting? He frantically tried to control his temper. It wasn't Shinshui's fault, of course, but seeing the man Matsumoto had chosen over him still made his teeth grind. Hitsugoyo Taicho. Just a few minutes ago, a document was given to me by my darling Nao, who insisted I read it before handing it over to Rangiku-chan. Hitsugoya's fist tightened by the way he said her name. Why wasn't he the one addressing her by that name? I thought it might interest you to know about before I handed it to her. What is it about? It's a request for her acceptance as Fuku Taicho. Fuku Taicho where? Which is the only division currently without one. His heart dropped. No doubt she's going to decline, so I wouldn't show it to her yet. Where is she? Currently heading over to a glade in the forest nearby to collect my scarf for me. I sent her there. Thought you might want to catch her. Thanks, he flashed. Okay, let's move on to Chapter 3. Here it is. Matsumoto exclaimed cheerfully, grabbing the scarf and whirling it around and twirling around gleefully with it. She turned to go, and a hand caught her wrist, and Captain Class Raitsu flared out behind her. She spun around and found herself face to face with Hitsugaya. What are you doing here? Hitsugoya Taicho, she said in mock politeness, her happy disposition ground to dust. Matsumoto, I just wanted to tell you I'm sorry about what happened between us. Why now? It's almost midnight, and that was a month ago, she said sharply. I like how they're missing punctuation marks here, because you've been ignoring me for the last 1 month. Just say the last month. You don't need the word one in there. And will continue to do so. I know it's like every single line of dialogue here, they don't have any punctuation other than the quotations. Please, Matsumoto. Please what? I'm not your Fuku Taicho anymore. That's that. You can transfer back. No, I'm very happy under Kairaku Taicho. He winced. Once she would have said that about him. Yes, because you can slack and wear pink. Oops, he said that out aloud. How dare you say that? I have not been slacking, and I'm very happy doing paperwork with Nano-san, and Kairaku-sama is nice and has a sense of humor. I do too, as if. He winced again. Okay, this was not going well. He was frustrated and tired and leashed his temper, and his leash on his temper was wearing thin. I know about the transfer request. What? I saw it on Taichu's table. Then please, will you accept? No, I need you. You don't. The division needs you. So does Hachi Bantai. They have 9 nano. I do the training drills. They're better than yours now, you know. He growled. Matsumoto, please, no. That was it. How can you be so selfish? Look who's talking. We need a Fuku Taicho, okay? Fine. Get someone else. Who? How would I know? Look, just accept and we can work something out. Do you think I was born yesterday or what? I never said that. I said no. I already apologized to you, okay? Like I care. I said I was sorry. And I said fine, but I'm not transferring back. And why not? Because. Because? Because how can you expect that to be enough after you betrayed my trust by believing those rumors? Okay, you spelled those wrongs. After you broke my heart. Okay, what the heck is with the text talk here? You know, it's little things like that that really piss me off, especially seeing so far I am liking this story. But, you know, as each chapter goes on, there seems to be more and more of these silly little typos and stuff, and then they do this. Really? Spell out the word you. Y-O-U. Not that hard. 3 letters. Do it. Thank you. Matsumoto, you whore. What? I mean... Her face was pale, and his stomach gave a lurch. He felt sick. How had he mucked up like that? Now she'd never forgive him. He'd be lucky if she'd even look at him again. Matsumoto, I'm sorry. I didn't mean it like that. Forget it. Please, Matsumoto. His voice was no longer its usual stoic and calm tone. It was the tone of a child voicing a deep please. Please. No. She shun-poed off. What the heck does shun-poed mean? Is that even a word? Let's look it up. The closest thing to a description I could find for this word was mainly from the word shunted, which one of the definitions is the act or process of turning aside or moving to an alternate course. And I noticed that this word kind of showed up in other fanfics involving other mangas like Naruto and stuff. So maybe it is a legit word. I don't know. But shunpoed is a pretty interesting version, let's put it that way. Now that that's all set aside, let's continue reading the last sentence of this chapter. He fell to his knees, covered his face with his hands, and cried. Okay, let's go on to chapter 4. He didn't know how long he knelt there. Sobs tore through his body, and his tears just wouldn't stop flowing. Slowly his mind blurred, and he blacked out. Golden sunshine warmed his body, and hands shook his weary frame. Hitsugaya Taicho, wake up, came Shinsui's deep chocolatey voice. He sat up with a start. What? Memories of last night flowed back into his head. Oh, man. Hitsugaya Taicho, what happened? We fought. Oh dear, came Shinsui's soft sigh. So it didn't go well then? No. She'll never forgive me now. I need her. Then go to her. It's too late. No, it's not. This morning Rangiku came in looking thunderous. She immediately wrote some kanji on a paper and said she was declining the request. She's on her way to the first now. If you want to stop her, though, it's probably your last chance, so it had better be good. He was gone before it was over. A hand grabbed Rangiku from the sky as she passed to be a has to be a deserted area almost to the first division. She gave a cry and found herself pinned to the wall by, "What are you doing? I just want you to hear me out, okay? No. Then I won't let you go. Fine." He let go of her wrists and took a deep breath. "Look, I'm really sorry about what I said 1 month ago and yesterday night." Say what was the... Yesterday night. Yesterday night. Don't you mean last night? Last night. Last night. Last night. Not yesterday night. Yesterday night. Just sounds so stupid to the ears. Yesterday night. Just listen to it. Yesterday night. Doesn't that sound stupid? Last night. Doesn't that make more sense? Or if it's not supposed to be directly last night, the other night. On Tuesday night. On Saturday night. Do not say yesterday night. Let's continue. I don't care. I see. I just want you to know that I understand that just saying sorry is not enough, but I don't know any other way to express this. Oh. Rangiku, you're the only person who truly respects me in my division and is truly loyal to me. I know I haven't been easy to put up with. Her lips twitched and he plotted in further. I'm sorry I haven't been treating you like I should, and I know I do like it when you're around. I really do. And he trailed off lamely. Rangiku, her head was turned away, and she was biting her bottom lip as if in deep thought. He waited for what seemed like an eternity before she took a deep breath and faced him. Silence lingered between them. Rangiku, please accept. I swear I'll treat you better. Okay, again, they did the stupid text talk with the you. Hell, I'd even wear pink if it makes you happy. That was the last straw. She flung herself onto him, and he pulled her close, enjoying her closeness and the sweet fragrance of her hair. It was only then that he noticed how much he had grown. His eye now level with hers. I won't decline, she murmured into his ear, and his heart leapt with joy. Thank you, Rangiku. Alright, 2 more chapters to go. Let's take a look at chapter 5. Later that day, the door slammed open to reveal his beautiful Fuku Taicho as she spun into the room. Hiya, Taicho. He walked around to stop just behind her. He placed one well-muscled arm on her shoulder and spun her around to face him. You look like you need a cup of tea, ni Taicho, she said. Okay, I like the lack of quotations there. Stroking his cheek softly. He turned his head slightly and kissed her palm. She smiled. In an instant she was gone. Thank goodness she's back, he sighed softly. Don't you start taking advantage of her now, Hinako said in his head. He spun around in shock. She had left Hinako on her table. How had Hinako been able to speak mind to mind with him? Only Hiro and Maru could do that. I let her through for a second, came Rin-Maru's answer. The door slid open once more and Rangiku came in carrying a tray with 2 cups of tea on it. She placed the tray on the coffee table and turned to face him when a knock resounded on the door. Come in, Hitsugoya said, impatient and annoyed. So Taicho and his lieutenant walked in. So Taicho-sama? Hitsugoya half stammered in shock. I am very glad you accepted my request, Matsumoto Fukutaicho, he said calmly. However, something very interesting was brought to my attention about you when you came in with the acceptance form letter. Hitsugoya's throat tightened. He couldn't bear to see her removed from him so quickly. Your Ryatsu has grown significantly, Matsumoto. Matsumoto Fukutaicho, and if my presumptions are right, you have achieved Bankai. Hitsugoya froze in shock. I would have called you to my office if it had not been so late. However, this is a very serious matter considering our recent defection of 3 captains. So, I wish to ask you now, do you wish to take your place as captain of the 3rd Division? Hitsugoya's heart sank. As you know, your Taicho has been taking care of matters for 3rd division by voluntary for some time now, just like Kuchiki Taicho has been taking care of matters for the 5th. We have extended a similar request to Abarai Fuku Taichu in terms of ascending the seat of captain. However, due to loyalty reasons and not being sure of whether he can handle the job, he is currently pending the request and acting as captain in terms of paperwork and leads the squads and missions. Therefore, would you like to do the same or directly ascend the post as captain? Hitsugoya's shoulders slumped in defeat. I have a confession to make, came Matsumoto's voice, calm but laced with hints of nervousness. His head shot up. I had achieved Bankai even before I transferred out. During my time as the 3rd seat of 8th Division, I considered telling you, but I wasn't so sure since it was so sudden after my transfer. However, I had been hiding my Bankai before my transfer since I could not bear to leave my division so suddenly, and because it had been pure joy serving under Hitsugoya Taicho. Hitsugoya drew his breath and flushed in mortification. It was almost as if she was indirectly scolding him for his disrespect of her abilities and not taking more notice of her. Therefore, I ask to do the same as Abarai Fuku Taichu and pen the invitation. There was a moment of silence before the Taichu said, Thank you for your honest confession, Matsumoto Fuku Taichu. Your request has been accepted. The door closed behind him and his Fuku Taichu as Matsumoto slumped down wearily on the couch. She cupped her hands around her mug of tea and sipped slowly. Hitsugoya sat down next to her. He took a sip of the sweet hot tea before putting down the mug and drawing her gently into his arms so that she was lying on the couch with her head on his lap. He gently traced the line of her jaw before saying slowly, "Why didn't you tell me?" She sighed. "I was afraid you'd send me away to another division and I didn't want to leave." "Thank you for staying, Rangiku." "You're welcome, Torshiro." He bent down slowly as Rangiku reached up, wrapping her arms around his head. They kissed at first lightly, gently, then fervently and passionately, feeling themselves melt into each other. Both of them knew there and then that they shared a relationship of love that they would never in a million years be willing to give up. I guess that's supposed to be the end in Japanese, but there is one more chapter. And the chapter is literally called alt ending. Oh, it's an alternate ending. Fun, fun, fun. I don't know if I've ever read any alternate endings on my show before, so this should be interesting. The next morning. Matsumoto, I can't believe they're at it already. It's already too early. I miss my Ranchan. Wham! Nanio's fan landed firmly on the top of Taicho's head. Nanio-chan, so mean. From the 8th Division office, the sound of Hitsugoya's furious screams for his bubbly Fuku Taicho interrupted an ordinary morning. At the 10th Division barracks, however, Matsumoto, what have you done? It was no understatement to say that steam was practically gushing out of Hitsugoya's ears. His face was scrunched up in a huge scowl and his ears had turned entirely red. Taicho, you are so cute, came Matsumoto's elated squeal. Matsumoto, come on, Taicho, chill. You're going to disturb the other Taichos, you know. Matsumoto, glomp, By the time Hitsugoya finally got his cheery Fuku Taicho to release him from her voluptuous chest, he was entirely blue in the face and could not do anything more than gasp for air. Matsumoto, I swear, either you fix this or I'm going to have you frozen solid in a block of ice for the rest of the day. His face retained its angry red color, and their breaths were forming puffs of steam in the cold temperature. As soon as the words left his lips, he regretted it. The look on Matsumoto's face was like a smug spider, and he felt like the prey that had just accidentally landed in its web. Smirking, she leaned in until their faces were centimeters apart. Really, Taicho? But aren't you afraid I'll get sick and the Sutaicho will send me away because I'm unable to handle my superior? Hitsugoya winced inwardly. Crap, that was certainly a possibility, or she might get mad at him and transfer away again. He just experienced that and he never wanted to experience it again. Taking a deep breath, he tried to calm himself down. Matsu, no, Rengiku. You know I can't go around, let alone to today's captain's meeting in, he sputters, Pink Hiyori. Taichito, didn't you just call me Rengiku? Matsumoto, eh? Maybe I heard wrongly. She turned away, looking like she was losing interest in the subject. Matsumoto, wait. Don't walk away. Matsumoto, Rengiku. Say that again? Rengiku. Yes? Torshiru. He blushed furiously. It's Hitsugoya Taicho. What was that? Torshiru. She took one step closer to him. Their noses were almost touching. He took a step back and hit the wall. Rengiku, remove the color from my uniform. He was desperately trying to keep himself composed, but the pink Hiyori was rapidly becoming the lesser of two problems. The bigger one being, of course, the beautiful Fuku Taicho with her lips dangerously close to his. She smirked. It appeared that he was in a very stubborn mood. Leaning in, she captured his lips. He felt her lips close in on his and instinctively wrapped his arms... Instinctively his arms snaked around her wrists, her waist, pulling her closer to him. They broke off, panting. He pulled her to him with a sudden movement, pressing his lips against her once more. Rangiku's eyes wide. Wait, Taicho, she mumbled against his lips, but heck if Hitsugoya cared. He had reclaimed the woman he loved, and he was damned if he would let such a good opportunity slip away. The door opened. Sorry to disturb Renji's jaw dropped. Hitsugoya's eyes widened. No wonder she had tried to stop him, but in the heat of the moment he had neglected to check, and thus had not felt Renji's Ryetsu approaching the room. Renji slammed the door and sprinted for his life. If he wasted time frozen in a block of ice, Kuchi Taiko would kill him. Looks like the cat's out of the bag, eh, Torshiru? She smiled at her shell-shocked Taicho. She wasn't too worried, really. After all, this meant she wouldn't have to fend off one of Hinamori Momo or any of his fangirls. Satisfied with her morning's work, she decided to take the rest of the day off at the bar. Wait, Matsumoto. You still have to get the color off my Hiyori. When did I say I would? Besides, the Taicho should keep his promises, you know. What prom? Then it hit him. Rango, please accept. I swear, I will treat you better. Hell, I'd even wear pink if it makes you happy. Crap. Under critical, most amused stares from the other Taichos, Hitsugoya Toritsu, 10th Division Captain, attended captain's meeting in a pink Hiyori and constantly wished he could sink into the floor with his Fukutaichu, merely waited outside with an ever-present, very pleasant smirk on her face. Glaring furiously at anybody who passed by, Hitsugoya tried to put up with his promise as he performed his regular duties. A very pleased Rangiku finally removed the pink from his uniform after a day of teasing her poor Taicho, of course. He had give her plenty of kisses to make her do it, and plenty more to ensure that his Hiyori stayed white each day. End. Well, I guess that was cute. Of course, most of the fanfic kind of went over my head because I had absolutely no idea what was going on. I'm not familiar with Bleach at all, but the fanfic was okay. Aside from the little mistakes, like using the text version of you and missing punctuation marks and missing quotation marks and some of the misspellings, that always makes my head spin. But other than that, it wasn't that bad of a fanfic. And if you are a Bleach fan, I don't know if I should recommend it because I don't know if they wrote the characters a character or not. I'm not familiar with Bleach at all, but this was requested, so it was a decent read. Well, I'm the fanfic critic. I read it. You listen. I can't believe it's been 100 episodes. Hello. So, what exactly was the fanfic you were taking a look at today? That was a Bleach fanfic called War of Wills. I actually had no idea what was going on in it, but it was okay. I mean, I had this one little moment with they had something. They used the term yesterday night or something like that. Yeah, it was rather silly. Yesterday night. You're right. That does sound rather silly. Are you okay? Oh, I'm fine. Just the episode number itself is a little shocking. 155. Oh. 100 episodes after episode 55, yeah. I see. I'm not, like, dwelling on it or anything, you know. I have been trying to move past it, just, I don't know, it's just the number itself kind of brings back the memories and, you know, just, but, you know, I feel fine. Just the episode number, that's all. I'll be fine. Don't worry about it. It's okay. No need to get upset. I understand. I was kind of thinking about it myself. Anyway, I better go watch my soap opera, so take care. All right. Enjoy your show. I wonder what I have to review next time.